What recovery gear should you be carrying? Hi, everybody. I'm Rob, and this is Storm Crow Overland. We talk about going on adventures, road trips, camping, and just generally getting out and enjoying life. And on this week's episode, I'm going to take a second and kind of review, kind of go through my recovery bag, see what I'm carrying, make sure everything looks good. There's no problems, nothing I need to replace. Make sure everything just looks good, and make sure I'm set for this next upcoming adventure season. So, in my rig, I've got a couple of things I'm not going to actually physically pull out. Up front, I have a Smittybilt X20 winch. It's a 10,000 pound winch. Got a Factor 55 Flat Link Pro on it. Great winch, great setup. I love it. And then up on the roof, I have a set of X-Spool recovery boards. They're obviously not the greatest. They're not actual Max Tracks. They've made it through a couple of winters. They've done about 15, 20 recoveries so far. They are starting to crack a little bit on the edges. It's to be expected, but they also are enough cheaper that if I need to replace them, I can just replace them. And realistically, I probably will step up to actual Max Tracks next time and spend the money now that I know how useful they are and how often I use them. So the rest of my recovery gear I store behind the passenger seat here. It's not an ideal location. I've thought about storing it in the back, but then I don't have to worry about if I'm in a situation where I'm real nose high and I can't get the back hatch open. Realistically, if I can get out my door, I can get out of this door. And I usually don't have stuff packed here, so it's not too hard to reach in and grab my bag. So I'm going to grab my stuff out real quick so I can show you. First up, nothing real crazy, just a regular snatch strap. If you don't know, snatch straps work a lot better than an actual tow rope. They have some give to them. It kind of avoids that sudden jolt when you go to yank someone out. And just kind of gives that little stretchy effect. So that's great. My bag is all tore up. Probably need to replace the bag. But the strap itself is in great shape. I've never actually had to use it, so that's always good. But it's there if I need it. And then this is my actual bag of recovery gear. It's just a little cheap Harbor Freight tool bag. Starts off with 2 soft shackles. I carry multiple soft shackles and hard bow shackles just to give me options, whether I need to do, if I'm just hooking up a snatch strap to something, if I need to hook up a tree strap around a tree, if I need to do a single line pull, a double line pull. I just like having different options for the rigging. So like I said, 2 soft shackles. Let's see what else we have in here. I kind of just mentioned it there. Tree strap. It's a little bit different than a snatch strap. This doesn't really have any give to it. It's a static line. It's fairly short. Like I said, this is what you use to wrap around a tree if you're going to be winching off it or something like that. You don't want to wrap your winch cable directly around a tree. It's bad for the tree. It's bad for your winch cable if you're using synthetic line. I pretty much only use synthetic line. So that's good. Also can act as if you're trying to hook up to another vehicle and your strap or your winch line is just not quite long enough, you can use it as an extension as well. But its main reason it's there is to wrap around a tree. So, like I said, multiple soft shackles, multiple hard shackles. Just never know what situation you're going to be in, what you're trying to hook up to. Like I said, just as many options as possible. Along with that, I've got a Victory 4x4 stealth front bumper. It's got 2 heavy-duty recovery points on the front of the vehicle. There's no real good recovery point on the back of my 4Runner, so that's where this guy comes in. It's just a goes in your receiver hitch, lets you put a hard shackle through it. So I have some B-roll here to show y'all as well, but basically gives you a recovery point from the back of the vehicle. And also, if you come across another vehicle that's out on the trail, if they're stuck and don't have good recovery points, if they've got a receiver hitch, you can slide that in there, put that bow shackle on there, and you've got something you can use to try to at least pull them back out if they're, depending on how they're stuck. So lots of options. My winch has a wireless remote, so keep batteries in it. Try to check it at least once a month, make sure everything's good. Check the winch, make sure it's good. Along with that, just because can't always trust batteries, this remote can actually also act as a wired remote. So I've got the cord in here, so I can plug it in and plug it into the winch in case the batteries are dead or for some reason I need to do not wireless. gloves. If you're dealing with this stuff, you got lots of pinching hazards. If you've got steel cable instead of synthetic, you can get burrs, all kinds of stuff like that. Always recommend gloves. I keep these are a fairly thin pair, but it's just something in my door. Actually, I'll pull out and show you. I keep a very thick set of elk skin gloves. These are actually old roping gloves, but they're real thick, good. Always have them in the car, easy to get to. And then not a whole lot left here in the bag. This is kind of a replacement for a snatch block. It's just a synthetic line. Obviously, this is not how this exactly works, but you kind of wrap it around. You wrap your actual synthetic line from your winch around it to do a double line pull. Approximately doubles your pulling power, but it slows it down by about half as well. Really good. Don't want to use this on steel cable. This whole thing's aluminum. It'll just chew it up. But like I said, it's a lot lighter than a regular snatch block. It's a lot harder to get your fingers pinched in it. Lets you use soft shackle instead of a hard shackle to rig it up, which is always nice. But with all these things here, combined with the winch itself and the traction boards, you're covered. I'm covered for just about any situation I come upon. Me and a neighbor who's got a pretty tricked out Jeep, we kind of act as the unofficial recovery team for our neighborhood when it snows. If somebody gets stuck or slides off the road, same thing for work. I try to have all this and cold weather gear in the car. We're actually supposed to get pretty good snow in the next 2 days here in Oklahoma City. So work knows that I can get to work, and if someone has a problem, gets broke down the side of the road, slides off the road, there's a pretty good chance I can get to them before regular tow trucks can get there because they'll be overwhelmed by all the other traffic. But like I said, it's nice to just at the beginning of the season, before full-on outdoor adventure season starts, pull all your stuff out, check it over, especially stuff like your soft shackles or your winch. Make sure you're checking your winch out. Check your soft shackles. Make sure there's no rips or tears. Make sure you can still trust them. Go through your straps, snatch straps, or just a tree saver. Kind of go through, make sure it's not tore up. You just want to make sure that you can trust this stuff. You need to take care of it so you can take care of you. And it's crazy to get very far off the beaten path without having at least a minimum amount of recovery gear. This might be a little extra, just because I like to have all my bases covered. There's another guy on YouTube I like that he carries gear because he never wants to miss the chance to be Batman. If someone else needs help, he wants to be able to help. So having all this stuff really kind of helps with that. And that's really about it. This video is probably a little on the shorter side, but it's a little chilly out. It's getting dark, as you can probably tell too, so I want to go ahead and get inside. But if you're watching this on YouTube, just realize we also release the audio as a podcast. You can find it pretty much wherever podcasts are found. If you are listening to this as an audio podcast, I'd like you to know that you can find us on YouTube. We released a video of all this. This was probably a better episode for video since I'm showing all the stuff. Try to have some interesting B-roll in there too. But you can find us on YouTube at Stormcrow Overland. You can find us on Instagram at Stormcrow Overland. We're pretty much Stormcrow Overland anywhere you look. Let's see. That's really about it. Last time I checked, we're at about 25 subscribers. Plan on running a giveaway once we hit 50 subscribers. I'll be giving away a 1-year subscription to a premium membership for Onyx Off-Road. Onyx is my preferred GPS mapping software. They're all great, but Onyx is just the one I prefer. And so I'm a trail guide for them as well. So I'll be giving away that. If you like what you're seeing, we are really trying to build a community of like-minded individuals. So give us a like, follow, subscribe, any of that kind of stuff. Leave comments. Let me know. Is there some recovery gear that I'm just not thinking of that I need? Actually, I just thought of it. I also have a shovel. It's mounted up on the rack. You can't really see it here. Shovel's another piece of important recovery gear. And at the end of the day, none of this does anything without training. Get some training. And when I say training, I don't mean go watch the entire catalog of Matt's off-road recovery videos. I love those. They're great. But it's not training. Try to find your local off-road group, a local overland group. Get some hands-on practice. Get out with your friends, mess around with your stuff. Try to get stuck just so you and your buddies can get you unstuck. Learn stuff. None of this works without knowledge. But with that, Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, sometimes it really takes going out and getting lost or stuck before you can find yourself. Thanks.